Am I muted? Oh, man. I am all out of whack today. My time got slipped off by a mistake, by a slip of the finger. Anton is up here muted. I ain't got no sound on the microphone, but we back. Welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show, sponsored by Tiege Hanley. 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I rock with y'all. Yeah, we had a little bit of a slip on the time today as far as it being fat-fingered and stuff like that, but I appreciate y'all for letting me know and keeping me informed. Yes, we are starting relatively at the normal time. It is Friday, May 10th, 2024. I'm here. We kicking it. We rocking out. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. What's happening, y'all? What's happening out here in these streets? I'm absolutely excited to be before you guys today. You guys are the greatest audience and the greatest show on earth. The first thing that I want to do is make sure that I acknowledge the Cash Apps, the people that support the platform the most. So shout out to my Cash App crew in the building. First and foremost, I want to give an acknowledgement to my guy, Mike That Dude. And I absolutely want to give an acknowledgement to my dog, Michael. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Yeah, man, I was confused myself. I looked up, I said, wait a minute. This is saying that I'm supposed to go live an hour and 5 minutes from now. I looked at it. I'm like, do I got some extra time? Was it daylight savings time today? Absolutely not. Everything got fat fingered. So we had to make the adjustment and we had to rock out, but we here and we getting it. And we had an absolutely phenomenal time last night on the Anton and Mika show on After Hours. We got an experiment coming up next week with this channel in the Millionaire Morning Show, on which I plan to release some content a little bit earlier in the morning, do a little live stream, maybe a mini live stream. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I'll let you guys know. After this weekend, I plan on dropping a video inside of the Patreon. So if you guys are not a part of the Patreon, the link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We're going to be running it up. I think it's going to be a really, really good video. You guys are going to enjoy it. I know Mother's Day is this weekend. In my opinion, another Hallmark holiday and a way to get us to spend money in the economy that we don't necessarily need to. But shout out to the people that's running it up on Afterpay and Klarna. You know what I'm saying? And we here. What up? What up? What up? You know Mike That Dude already, Anike? Me too. That's my guy. What's up? Can I get one word in the chat to let me know how y'all feeling today? Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lot. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate the lessons as always. Coaching calls be going up. If y'all need to get in touch with me about anything business related, let me say this. I do not contact people on Instagram. I do not have an alternative TikTok or Instagram or X, formerly known as Twitter account. I have one. Those links are in the description. If you see anybody contact you on any other platform, it's not me. It's not me. You getting finessed, all right? That's number one. Number two, if you need to do business with me, I do business through email. I'm old school, right? We got to have a chain of command and a chain connection as far as the documentation of all of the stuff that come through. And I do it through email. Email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. A lot of y'all saying, cool, fantastic, blessed. I see you. What up? Informed. That's a good word to start off the day with. Paid in full. It is Friday, ain't it? The gigantic Friday, magnificent, great. Sent an email info regarding JP. Okay. All right. I see y'all. What's up to everybody that's speaking to everybody in the chat? Man, I fumbled today, didn't I? Absolutely fat fingered that button. And I started off muted, but we're going to get that edited. Marvelous, rested. I see you, Larry Walker. I see you, Vanessa. What's up, Keita? Says lovely. All right. I see you. Focused, ambitious. Transmission busted on the way to work, so a little frustrated. That's all right. You can get that fixed. At least you ain't got no car note. Relieved. Get it. Ambitious. You just cash your mom out on some Tiffany & Company. Don't do financing. She will get that medium tote bag and necklace. Let me get a round of applause for that one. Relieved, moved, need blessings from Anton if possible for my workload. Prayer warrior mode, prepared, relieved. All right, I see y'all. I see y'all. So y'all getting ready for the weekend. We getting ready to run it up. We getting ready to take care of business. It seemed like that whole spirit of anticipation and growth and all of that stuff. You just joined the Bag Chaser. Shout out to Carl Harris. I appreciate you. Yeah. I like that. Tired, relaxed, It seems like it's like this method of anticipation. I'll have you guys to know before we get started with the show. I'll have you guys to know that every single person that I talk to or coach, and it don't matter if they 18 years old or if they 54, 60, 64, or 70, you know they all say the same thing. I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I'm behind. Don't you know that everybody is going to feel like they're behind? I woke up this morning feeling similar. Maybe not behind, but I was thinking to myself, I need to make some more money. Ain't that crazy? I woke up this morning and I was thinking to myself, I need to make some more money. Well, Anton, why do you need to make some more money? Because I got more things that I'm looking to do, man. Absolutely. I got compounds that I want to build that I've already bought the land for, but I put that on the back burner in order to finish some other projects that I already got in flight. I got cars on order, places to go, people to do, things to see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, we got to make all the money. I was looking at homeboy, Aristotle Investments, or I forgot what his name was, Honey Drip Network. I want to give a salute to him because, and I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly, Jay Johnson. I want to give a salute to him because apparently he bought the Legacy Center. A lot of you may not be familiar with the Legacy Center, but the Legacy Center is the place where, what's his name? Jay Morrison. So Jay Morrison had crowdfunded some kind of real estate venture called the Tulsa Real Estate Investments. One of the crown jewels that he used to purchase, or one of the things that he used the money for to purchase, was what was called the Legacy Center, and I think it's down there in Atlanta. And in the final frontier of basically selling the Legacy Center and completely dissolving the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, which that's a whole nother conversation. Now, I'm sure that that's been covered on many other platforms, including my dog, O'Shea Duke Jackson, and Pocket Watching with JT. But in light of that, apparently there was a bidding war, and I didn't even know that the building was for sale. And so Wall Street Trapper was a part of the bidding war, Aristotle Investments. I'm just happy to see content creators really, really leveling up, really, really putting their money where their mouth is and purchasing assets and taking it off of the hands of apparently the people that wasn't able to manage it effectively. But the young homie, Aristotle Investments, apparently he was the one that won the bidding war. I'm not sure how much he purchased it for, but congratulations to him. And, you know, I was just thinking about all of the things that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I had it in my mind, and I was thinking to myself once I realized that it had been sold, man, wouldn't that have been like the greatest troll ever to purchase that Legacy Center and then to tear it down or to use it as a school to troll Umar Johnson and Jay Morrison at the same time. And so we need troll money. You know what I'm saying? We need money to just be sitting here laughing at people while they sitting there talking about the schools that they're going to build over the next 15 years. We need troll money. You know what I'm saying? But congratulations to them. Congratulations to the people that bought that, the former Legacy Center. Hopefully they rename it and change it into something a little bit more conducive. And shout out to the people that's actually putting up the money, getting to the bag, taking care of business, and to the content creators that's running it up. We got a new show that we're going to be debuting Tuesday. This upcoming Tuesday, we got a new show that we're going to debut. And it's featuring my girl, Randy Rosario, and so many other great content creators, some people from 8 at the Table. It's a lot of different things. So that announcement is to come. I'm going to tell y'all more about that Monday. And I want y'all to tune into that because we got a lot of episodes that's going to be debuting on the Anton Daniels channel. I'm going to have the debut of the new content that's going to be coming out for the Room 9 channel. And we're going to be expanding the Millionaire Morning Show to a morning stream and stuff like that. So much to do, so much work to do. And I just got more work that I got to be taking care of. We got bags to run up. We got businesses to build. We got things that we need to put into, more real estate to purchase, more cars to drive, more places to fly to, more experiences to have. And I would love for you to be along for the journey. So make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We're going to be running it up with Stock Club. We're running it up with business. We're running it up with everything. And we put our money where our mouth is. We invest in our people. Shout out to the people that I meet every single day in Detroit that say, yo, Anton, I want to come to this. I want to come to that. We running it up. I think that the next meetup will not be just a regular meetup like we usually do, because what we usually do is we go to city, and we usually hit about anywhere from 8 to 10 cities a year for the meetups. But I think I want to remix it and take a little bit of time and do it the right way and have it to be more of an Anton and friends type of thing. You know, bring out all of my friends, not just Rita, not just Q. Maybe y'all can get Rita to speak to y'all in person, to the ladies specifically, and maybe do it as a whole event, like an Anton and friends. Have my dog 2K come out there. Maybe do a little bit of a panel. Have Angry Man come out. Have some of my famous celebrity friends come out and speak to y'all, and just make it, just do it right. Do it as a whole thing. But we got to figure that out. We got to figure out the logistics, because when you make it more than just a meetup, it becomes a whole thing. You got to get people hotel rooms. It's a lot of business to go through. So in addition to dropping a video on the Patreon that I'm dropping this weekend for y'all from a financial perspective, and then we got Stock Club next week, I'd love to get you guys feedback on what you guys want. Do you just want a regular meetup, which we can do that sooner rather than later? Or do y'all want it to be more of a Anton and friends type of thing for the bag chasers? So y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm curious as to what's going on. And then we'll go from there. All right, let's go ahead and read a couple of more super chats, and then we're going to get started with the show. Jay Johnson is in the building, says, what up, though, coach? My bad for the absence, but life was lifing. So I had to maneuver a little different, but I stayed patient and kept learning. Shout out to the bag chasers, gang in the chat. Blessed. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. Do the right thing. Y'all know nothing about that song. Good morning, AD in the chat. Appreciate the value you bring. I told my pops to tap in, and he told me he didn't like you. With no valid reason. Interesting, I know. Long story. I need that coach and call big dog. Let me tell you something. Do the right thing. I'm not ever going to talk negative upon your father, because obviously you have a relationship with your father, and that's the only thing that matters. I don't get involved in family business, but you know what the thing is to do. You know that it's time to level up. Let me ask you a question. Let me be very, very direct, and you can send this to your daddy. How successful is your father? You ain't got to answer that. This is for everybody. This is not for the super chatter. This is for everybody. I would never talk bad about somebody's father, especially somebody that's present in their life. But when they lean on their emotions and they say, I don't like him without any valid reason, that's cool. We don't care about feelings. One of our legacy mottos that we've always lived by on the Millionaire Morning Show is F your feelings, because the world don't care about your feelings. We only care about the results. What we do over here is results-based and oriented. You don't have to send this to anybody, especially the people that don't rock with or go in the direction that you're going in. Sometimes we have to leave the thing that is no longer serving us in order to go to the next level. So congratulations to you for making the decision to do the thing in your best interest. Lean into the results, not the emotion. And it's okay to be friends, and it's okay to have a great relationship with some people, but some people just not going to get it, and you just going to outgrow that circumstance. And it don't mean that you can't still be cool with them, but you got to continue to live your life. You live your life for you. Live your life for you. Shout out to you for continuing to run it up. Tell daddy I said, what up, though? Well, building journey in the building says, saw my cousin get her master's from George Mason yesterday. What's telling? I'd guess over 90% of the grads with STEM degrees were foreigners, and over 90% of the grads with useless degrees were American woman. Shout out to the wealth building journey. I appreciate you. Thank you for everybody that continues to tap in. F yo feelings. F yo feelings. That's what we used to live by. All right, let's continue to rock out. Tell daddy I said, what up, though? Mwah. Mwah. All right, y'all. What do we do? We get straight into Quick Hits. Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think we need to dedicate an entire segment to, but we definitely want to keep you guys informed on what's going on in these streets, man. Let's get into it. First things first on Quick Hits, we're going to get a little bit quirky before we get into the show. Apparently, a woman was found overhead in the storage bin on Southwest Airlines. Check it out.
A Milwaukee woman charged with killing a man who was allegedly sex trafficking her pleads guilty to a reduced charge.
That's right. Crystal Kaiser is accused of killing a Kenosha man back in 2018. She was 17 when she pleaded to a reduced count of reckless homicide, avoiding trial and a potential life sentence. Prosecutors say she also burned down his house and stole his car. She maintained the man had been molesting her and exploiting her as a prostitute, and that she shot him after he attempted to touch her again. She'll be sentenced in August.
The family of a U.S. Air Force member shot and killed by deputies in Florida believe officials were at the wrong home. 23-year-old Roger Fortson was killed last week after deputies responding to a disturbance call burst into his apartment and saw that he was armed. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump says Fortson had grabbed the gun to protect himself because the deputies did not identify themselves and blocked the peephole. The sheriff's office saying those claims are false.
Maybe I got the wrong clip. Let me fast forward to the end and see if we can get to the other side, because I need to start not reviewing this or reviewing this in real time instead of it just being played out. This is it's a lot going on in America. Maybe we need to expand quick hits.
You know, you get to pick your own seat, right? Some people joke it's a cattle call. One woman took it a little too literally. Yeah, her, right there, lying inside the overhead compartment. A flight out of New Mexico, curled up next to a suitcase, snug as a bug in a rug. Fortunately, a flight attendant found her before takeoff. Not sure what happened after that.
What? People are weird. All right, let's go to the next story of Quick Hits, ladies and gentlemen. Miss USA, apparently there's some ramblings within the organization. Let's check it out.
We're getting new insight about what led to a series of resignations at the Miss USA organization. Earlier this week, both Miss USA Noelia Voigt and Miss Teen USA Uma Sofia Servastova gave up their titles. Now, in a resignation letter obtained by CBS News from a source familiar with the matter, Voigt accused Miss USA leadership of creating a toxic work environment that included bullying and harassment.
Miss USA 2023 is...
Just 8 months after she was crowned Miss USA,
Utah!
Noelia Voigt wrote that her relationship with the pageant was unendurable and said she'd been diagnosed with anxiety because of the mental and emotional toll it had taken. In a resignation letter provided to CBS News by a source familiar with the matter, Voigt also said there is a toxic work environment within the Miss USA organization. She accused its president, Layla Rose, of being cold and unnecessarily aggressive.
Okay, all right. So wait a minute. Here's my question before we really start to deep dive into this. What does Miss USA and Miss Teen USA do? Just curious. Like, I know it's always been a thing. It's basically been in existence since before I was born, I'm assuming. And I'm trying to understand, what is the relevance today in 2024? Because, you know, things change, things evolve. We got social media now. It's a lot of IG models, OnlyFans is popping off. Chicks is getting flued out, et cetera, et cetera. What is the purpose of Miss USA? Just curious. What do they do? I'm not familiar. I don't know. I don't know what the contract is. I don't even know how they make money. What do they do?
And even threatening to take away her salary for not meeting Rose's personal preference. Voigt also said she was made to feel unsafe at events without an effective handler, including an experience where she claimed she was verbally, sexually harassed at a Christmas parade.
Oh, brother.
Voigt first announced she was stepping down from her role Monday in an Instagram post.
There is breaking news right now, and there's a secret code involved.
And some social media users noticed the opening letters of the statement's first 11 sentences spelled, "I am silenced." Beyond that post, Voigt hasn't publicly detailed why she chose to relinquish her crown, likely because Miss USA contestants signed restrictive non-disclosure agreements that bar them from speaking about the contest, their participation in it, or its organizers without the pageant's approval. Voigt's resignation came after the Miss USA social media director left her role last week, alleging that she had seen a decline in Voigt's mental health, plus disrespect toward Miss Teen USA, Uma Sofia Srivastava. On Wednesday, Srivastava announced her resignation in an Instagram post of her own, writing, "My personal values no longer fully align with the direction of the organization."
When you have employees and 2 title holders stepping down, there are definitely questions to be asked.
Juliana Morehouse is last year's Miss Maine. She said her experience with the Miss USA pageant was positive, but she's part of a growing coalition of former contestants who are calling for the organization to release Voigt from her NDA.
We want Noelia to be able to speak on her experiences so that there can be some transparency.
They look regular. They look the same. I'm still trying to understand what the value of Miss USA still is. They just need to do away with the whole thing. Didn't like Trump own a portion of Miss USA or something like that at some point?
For us who are leaving a legacy behind and for the girls who are to come after us.
Now, in a statement, the Miss USA pageant told CBS News in part, every individual connected to such high-profile events is navigating their own personal journey. We are committed to fostering a healthy, communicative, and supportive environment. Rose, however, did not respond separately to our request for comment, but in a statement previously circulated to other media outlets, she said in part, quote, "I take these allegations seriously."
Yeah, this is really just no news. And this is one of the reasons why we just put it in quick hits, because I'm not really sure of the value of this particular segment. But in another feel-good story, because it is Friday and I want to make sure that I leave you guys in a good mood, a woman, formerly incarcerated single mother, passed the bar on her first try. Check it out.
I passed. Nice. I passed.
You did it.
It's not just a win for me, but it's a win for all of us. It's a win for Black women attorneys who only make up less than 2% of the profession, for formerly incarcerated women who less than 1% obtain graduate degrees, for single mothers. I think it's really important for people to see the image of a Black woman passing the bar with all of everything that I carry, but also know that I'm not carrying it alone. I've always dreamed of going to law school since I was younger. When I was 17, I was arrested, and at the time I was facing 25 years to life. It was just part of a conspiracy case. It was very common in Harlem at the time to do these kind of mass roundups of teenagers throughout the neighborhood. I had a very good support system. I was represented by Neighborhood Defender Service of Harlem, Abyssinian Baptist Church. They were excellent advocates. They assisted in my case and making sure that I was able to make bail and come home. And from that, I only served 6 months on Rikers Island, and then I had a few years of probation. I was on probation while I was in college, actually. It was about a little over 10 years ago now, but very much still affected by the impacts of incarceration. It's been very difficult, but I've worked so hard to remove the stigma and distance myself from the negative impacts. I mean, for me, of course, this means I get to be an attorney. I can continue to help people. I can continue to mentor, to share my story, and let people know that, you know, it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going and how you get here today.
Well, shout out to her. A feel-good story. One thing that I'm trying to understand is how come they always got to highlight how, you know, the person is a single mother and she's a Black girl and all of this stuff. It would have been incredible to just pass the bar on the first time after she had been incarcerated, but then you're a single mother on top of that and all of that. And that's the only part that I guess kind of bothers me, but I guess that's what adds to the story in order to make it more sensational. Because the only problem that I have with this, and I guess I don't have a problem with it at all, but the only problem that I have is it almost makes it seems like, in a way, and this is just the way that I took it, that it's okay to be a single mother and that you can still overcome your obstacles. You know, my goal is always to prevent people from becoming single mothers or to become incarcerated in the first place, but I understand. I get it. And I think that this is dope. It is also a good story to push people to realize that you are not your circumstances, you are not your past. And as long as you take ownership and responsibility of whatever it is that happened before, then you can absolutely make a better decision going forward. So shout out to her for passing the bar on the first try. I'm sure that she'll be continuing to be successful, and everything is going to absolutely work out in her benefit. Shout out to her. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the show. Before I get started with the show, I also want to read a super chat really quick. Forsaken Archive says, that's what happens when you hire maintenance divas. Yeah, I don't understand the Miss USA pageant. It's still really weird to me. I'm still trying to figure it out. But let's go ahead and get into the show. First and foremost, Chicago police, there's a shortage while crime continues to explode in the city. All right, we're going to deep dive into Chicago really quickly. I didn't even want to make them a part of Quick Hits because I definitely wanted to talk about the concerns within the community, and that basically they're saying that it's a police shortage. They're worried about crime. Crime has been rampant, even though they're cooking the numbers and telling you that crime is down. We know that there's been a string of robberies. There's been a string of murders. People been getting shot inside of their windows. Somebody got shot inside of their third floor window just last night. But let's start off with the police officers' shortage of officers, which we did do a story the other day that basically said that most police officers is getting a whole lot of overtime. And it's a ton of service members that also is making over $100,000 a year, and even two that's making over $250,000 a year. Check it out.
A barrier to keeping events like Mexican Independence Day safe, a major Chicago police officer shortage.
CBS News' Jermont Terry is always investigating, telling us just how many officers are needed and why this is such a serious problem. He's live for us tonight at CPD headquarters. Jermont?
Joe and Erica, the men and women of CPD are putting in work. Yet the reality, the department is down a significant number of sworn officers. And as you know, Chicago summers usually bring an uptick in crime, this year coupled with the Democratic National Convention. So we're examining what this all means for our 77 neighborhoods.
I forgot that the Democratic National Convention was going to Chicago. How fitting. How fitting that the Democratic National Convention is actually going to be in Chicago this year. Let me give them a round of applause. You picked the right one this year, baby. Hey, somebody in the chat tell me, how far out in advance do they determine what cities is going to be the convention in? Is it just that particular election season? What's going on? How do they determine, shout out to my girl Nikita, how do they determine what cities they're going to have the Democratic National Convention in? And since they don't have enough police officers, how does that work out? I don't know.
Chicago's skyline is breathtaking, yet there are people holding their breath, wondering if CPD is ready for the months ahead.
What we're doing right now is making the best with the number of officers that we have.
Police Superintendent Larry Snelling recently acknowledged his department's shortcomings.
We are down. We're down close to 2,000 officers.
Well, that's a huge concern.
So says Anthony Riccio, retired first deputy superintendent. He spent 34 years with CPD.
When you're down that number, that large a number of officers, that's going to show up in the neighborhoods and the communities where people are looking for more police officers, particularly with the summer coming up.
Chicago is down 2,000 police officers? Wait. Hold on. Did I hear that correctly?
Police Superintendent Larry Snelling recently acknowledged his department's shortcomings.
Hey, every time I see one of those sign language people, it reminds me of those girls like that black lady that they found out that she wasn't really signing. She was just acting and pretending that she had been on the job for an extended period of time. y'all remember that video where the black lady was supposed to be doing sign language and she wasn't really doing anything? And she looked like she was being crazy? Hold on, let me see something. Fake sign language. Y'all got to remember that. I don't know if that's this. Do y'all remember the sound like? Because this guy right here, look at him.
Police Superintendent Larry Snelling recently acknowledged his department.
You see that guy right there? He don't look like he doing much. Hold on. Let me see something. See if I can figure it out. Y'all don't remember that lady? he looked like he not really doing much. Let me see. Y'all remember her?
It's happened again. Another sign language interpreter accused of signing total gibberish.
Dog, you know what the best part about this show is? You guys know what the best part about this show is? The best part about this show is getting derailed. The best part about the Millionaire Morning Show is the derailment. We're supposed to be talking about crime in Chicago and police shortages. And I just spot something. I get distracted like a dog chasing his tail. And then we just go down this deep hole. That guy looked like he was doing the exact same sign language. Look, check her out.
Gibberish. This time it was at the police news conference announcing an arrest in the Tampa serial killings.
We will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Hey, at least she got the 4 right. It was like, we will be charging 4 counts.
Charging 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Standing off to the side, translate.
Oh, I wish I can get her for an interview. What is this lady's name so we can contact her? And I just want to know what she was thinking, what she was doing. Then you got the vampire in Brooklyn back here.
Every word.
We received over 5,000 tips in this case.
But it turns out much of what she was signing was nonsense.
Look, dog, this is what I know for sure. I always tell y'all to dress for the job you want, not for the job you got. But dang, look, you somehow, some way finessed yourself into a opportunity. And so you better get to learning that sign language. Yo, if I had got that job, every night I would have been studying like, dang, they gonna call me up to do some sign language soon. I gotta know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be, hey, you over there? You in a whole, come on, man. You in Tampa? You bound to get for a news conference sooner or later. You gonna be looking like a fool up there. And he look like he doing the same. He might know sign language, but it looked like he don't know sign language. Look at
number of officers that we have.
Police Superintendent Larry Snelling recently acknowledged his department's shortcomings.
Hey, who knows sign language in the chat and can tell me if he actually saying anything? Anyway, Chicago is down 2,000 officers. We got to get back on point. Let me go and get some water.
We are down. We're down close to 2,000 officers.
Well, that's a huge concern.
So says Anthony Riccio, retired first deputy superintendent. He spent 34 years with CPD.
When you're down that number, that large a number of officers, that's going to show up in the neighborhoods and the communities where people are looking for more police officers, particularly with the summer coming up.
There were always officers around, and we just don't see that anymore.
Riccio says with just under 2,000 officers short, the department will pull from special units first.
Units that normally are supplement those officers now become the officers that do the patrolling.
As Chicago prepares to host at least 50,000 people in August for the DNC, Riccio believes the shortage only adds to the challenges.
A lot of these officers are very young. They certainly don't have experience with these type of incidents.
He says many of the officers who were around when Chicago hosted NATO in 2012 have...
Yo, and it's not only that they down a whole lot of officers, but the officers that I be seeing out today, yo, this whole country is shot.
Hello.
Yo, what up? You busy?
No, at the shop, waiting my hair crew.
Ooh, that's my high maintenance, baby. Hey, when we was out and about yesterday, and I seen them police officers and that female police officer, What,
Yeah.
what was the first thing that I said?
You said that you would beat her up if she tried to stop you. I'm doing too.
I did. Now I'm doing a video where basically they showing all of these little frail female police officers. First thing I said when I seen her, and Rita started cracking up, I said, man, I will beat the dog snot out of that chick if she ever tried to put her hands on me and arrest me. If I was just a criminal, right? If I was a person that's intent on doing something wrong, and I seen that police officer, I don't see that police officer as a barrier to entry.
You are definitely crazy.
And you talk, Anton, you always crazy. You always talking junk. Get off my phone. Bye. First thing I said, me and Rita was walking yesterday, and we had ran out to go grab something real quick. And I seen this female police officer. And I said, man, you see this? And Rita just started cracking up immediately. I said, man, if I was a criminal, I would beat the dog snot out of this chick. Because it wasn't even like a girly girl police officer. It was like a little butch one. It was a little shout out to Black Ink. They not gonna give me my $30 million. But it was a little tough one. She was a little short butch one, a little stocky one. And I was thinking to myself, I could take her, and I could take her partner, and I could take that guy right there. I could take all three of them. I felt really in my heart. Like turning on the criminal side of me, I was thinking to myself, man, I would beat the dog snot out of that chick. It's nothing that that chick would be able to do if you was a criminal and you just wanted to take her on. You can join the Bag Chasers by tapping into the Patreon. Link is in the description. As well as pinned to the top of the chat, big dog. And this is and the reason that I'm emphasizing this is because this is basically contributing to the downfall of America. Honestly, this is because you don't see police officers and say, oh man, person of authority, person that we supposed to respect. They don't care. They don't value you. Man, I see police officers, they don't look no more than 18, 19 years old. They have baby faces and they look like they deers out of headlights. And so not only are we down police officers because we basically created an environment that doesn't celebrate police officers, it's become more dangerous than ever. People are willing to put lawsuits on you. And the neighborhoods is not working in the best interest of themselves by working with the community leaders and the police officers. So now they got to go through a recruiting phase where they just getting anybody that's willing to have a body that's out here to jump out there. And you could be a little frail woman and you coming out there and you're like, man, if you don't get this little big head girl out my way, get this little big. I got pulled over the other day and they said, do you know how fast you was going? I was like, nah, not really. What do you mean, not really? What did you clock me at, officer? Well, I clocked you at such. Okay, cool. Give me my ticket. I got to get, man, don't you know I got somewhere to go? Oh, you just going to say, yeah, man. Hey, man, listen. So you don't care about, I said the speed limit is a suggestion for people like me. I got to go, man. He didn't even write me a ticket. He was like, man, just get on out of here, bro. You want to waste time doing paperwork? Then be my guest. But I don't care nothing about no speeding ticket. Like the respect for the law has just been lost. And you know me, I'm a person that appreciate police officers. But honestly, for a person like me, I'm a cruise on. I'm a stop, look both ways at the stoplight and just keep on going. And then, depending on which freeway I'm on or what street I'm on, I don't stop too long at no stoplight, and I certainly don't do the speed limit because I got to make sure that there ain't nobody behind me because I got to be situationally aware. The speed limit is a suggestion. The stoplights is a recommendation. Man, if you don't give me my ticket, ain't let me get on by my way. Ain't nobody thinking about this. Ain't nobody thinking about what you're talking about. And so, the lawlessness in America is rampant. And the criminals don't care. The people that got money certainly don't care because we're not affected by it. We got good lawyers. And we just going to do what we want to do. And so this is why Chicago is in shambles along with every other major city.
Have left the force, and more training will be key for DNC.
If what we're seeing on college campuses throughout the country is any indication, and I believe it's kind of a precursor of what we're going to see here, it's going to be quite the event.
To help secure the United Center and overflow throughout downtown, the neighborhoods will be impacted.
And where do those officers come from? Ultimately, they come from the blue and white cars that we see driving around our neighborhoods.
Despite the uphill battle, Riccio is encouraged by Superintendent Snelling's leadership.
The superintendent's got a plan, and I think he's going to do his best to make sure that the communities are safe and the convention is a success.
Y'all said I'm part of the problem. No, I'm not. Your legislators is a part of the problem. Blame Gavin Newsom. Blame Eric Adams. Blame Brandon Johnson. Blame J.B. Pritzker. They created the Safety Act. Look, when you can go into a store, rob the store, walk out, and have nothing stopping you, and they won't even arrest you or even worry about giving you bail, you telling me that me, a real law-abiding citizen that pays my taxes and don't do no crime, that I'm supposed to be worried about a police officer or a ticket? Man, they letting everybody go. Ain't nobody going to jail. You got killers walking the street every single day. Every time that we do a review video where somebody kills somebody or a police officer dies, they always got this long rap sheet and they should have been in jail. Man, if you think for 1 second that I'm worried about going to jail, considering that all of the hardened criminals don't have no consequences or repercussions, this is the environment that they've created that basically makes me feel more comfortable doing what I got to do because I know that I got to protect myself. The police officers is there in order to figure out what happened after the crime had already been there. I got to worry about making sure that I'm safe. So you're not about to sitting here and have me sitting at no stoplight like a duck or deer in headlights so somebody can just run. Man, get on my body here. I'm gone. You listen, if you giving me a ticket, that means that you're a police officer that's next to me. That's almost like having paid security. That's a cheap version of paid security if the police officer is sitting there behind me or they tailing me, trying to make sure that I don't speed. I feel more comfortable if the police officer is tailing me and is going to potentially pull me over because that means it's a stronger possibility that the jack boys out there is not looking to hunt me. So I'm not worried about it. I got a completely different mindset on what success looks like and what safety looks like, knowing what I know and reviewing the videos that I review on a daily basis. That is free security for me. So I look at that as a suggestion. I'm not sitting at no stoplight for no long time. I'm not about to sit there and let somebody tell me, no, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm not getting lined up. I'm not doing none of that. You can forget it. You can forget it. So, yep, I look both ways. I stop. Oh, okay. So this is just a stop. This is a yield sign. This is not a stop sign. And I keep it moving. They letting everybody out. Everybody trying to defund the police. Chicago is down 2,000 officers. You got to protect yourself at this point.
Success.
Now, Riccio points out that CPD will get help from federal agents, state police, and the Cook County Sheriff's Office. Now, we should point out that there is a lot of planning going on here at headquarters for the months to come.
Y'all don't believe me? So y'all think that it's safe out here in these streets for y'all just doing it the right? Because if they did it the right way and the criminals was getting locked up and the Jack Boys wasn't robbing, okay, you don't believe me. Okay, so Chicago is down 2,000 cops. This is what happened last night. You can't make this up, literally.
Robberies across the north side of the city last night, all within a couple of hours of each other.
Judy Wang is live outside the 24th District Police Station in Rogers Park with more. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning. The robbers hit liquor stores, Subway restaurants, and a 7-Eleven. These businesses were held up over the span of about 2.5 hours. Police say the robbers, working in groups of 2 or 3, stole cash and customers' wallets. The businesses robbed were in Lincoln Square, West Ridge, Norwood Park, and Irving Park. The first robbery happened at about 9:40 last night.
The robbers are working in groups of 2 or 3 every single day and every single night. There ain't no cops on the street. They down 2,000. The police and the mayor, or the mayor and J.B. Pritzker, they don't care about what's happening in the streets. Migrants is running crazy. People is out here getting jacked. They taking their time. This was over a span of hours. Over a span of hours, they out here robbing everything that they can get their hands on, and it's the same group every single night. If you think for 1 second, and I'm not even in Chicago, but if you think for 1 second that I'm about to be sitting here and being a sitting duck while they being soft on crime out there, you can forget it, big dog. Nope, not even a little bit. Not being down 2,000 cops. I feel sorry for everybody that live in Chicago. I feel sorry for every single citizen, law-abiding citizen that's trying to do it the right way and is out there living in Chicago, and you are in a war zone. You have been in the war zone for decades, and you are still voting the same way, subjecting yourself to the same thing, still going the same, embracing the same culture. Y'all are prisoners in the city that you pay taxes for, and you are being ran out in your own city and being used up and abused by your federal government, your local government, your state government, and y'all sitting here and y'all daddies are sitting here telling y'all that y'all don't like me. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like your voting habits. I don't like your mindset. I don't like your cultural norms. I don't like the fact that your daddy is a no good daddy that's out here trying to be the man and saying that he don't like me even though I'm telling the truth. I don't like Roland Martin. I don't like Dr. Umar Johnson's hair. I don't like Jay Morrison's credit card. I don't like Brittany Griner's jump shot. It's a lot of things that we don't like. But guess what? Crime is still criming. Jack boys is still jackboying. 2,000 police officers are still short on the street. And they're about to hold the Democratic National Convention over in Chicago. Now what? Who right and who wrong? We ain't got to like each other, but that don't mean that we can't come to a conclusion that's in both of our best interests. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't like nothing about you. I don't care nothing about you. All I know is crime is rampant. We've been doing the same thing for a long time, and we still ain't got no results. Now what? Now what? You don't like me, I don't like you, but you still under duress. You still broke, you still under duress. I'm still speeding, and I got a new 911 that's being delivered on the 26th of May this month. Why you think your son listen to me more than he listen to you? I'm just saying. The super chat. Your son sending me your videos. Your son is sending you my videos. He not sending me your videos. I got a bigger impact on your son, and I got his mind right now. So now I'm going to fill your son with righteousness, greatness, insight, information, and I'm going to switch him over from blue to red and have him really embracing his conservative values that you should have gave to him. Your son is being influenced by me. You need to get on board and try to figure out what it is that he likes so much about me. I'm your son's, I'm that baby pappy. I'm really a stepfather out here in these streets. In these YouTube streets, I'm really a step baby daddy. Yeah. Yo, mama like me. Listen, his mama like me. The daddy don't like me. And the son is looking up to me in order to make sure that they become bag chasers. I'm a step baby father. How did I get to this point in this live stream? We just getting started. We only 50 minutes in, and I'm already telling you that I'm your son's daddy. I'm that baby pappy. I'm that baby pappy. Mama like me, keep on hugging on me at the Patreon meetup. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, Miss Parker. Daddy don't like me. I can't believe it. Son keep looking up to me. Anton, let me get a coaching call. I got you, big dog. Let me get you what you need in order to be successful. Hey, man, you better get on board. You better get on board before I be that baby step pappy. Hey, Miss Parker. You may not like me, but your son love me. Your ex-wife adores me. Yes, she do. Because she crave leadership. She craves leadership. Man, I'm going to say that. I'm going Instagram Live in the day. I just determined in my mind right now, I'm going Instagram Live today at 3 p.m. Eastern. Tune in. I'm going to explain to you why I'm that baby's pappy. Let me tell you, I got to finish showing y'all what's going on in Chicago.
The last robbery occurred just before midnight. In one case, a store employee fought back. Police say 3 men wearing all black clothing went into Basil Food and Liquor on Western near Birchwood Avenue with handguns. One robber fired at the store clerk. The clerk pulled out a gun and fired back. The robbers left in a silver SUV. 2 men held up another food and liquor store on Western, Winnemac Food and Liquor at Winnemac and Western. They took cash and 2 customers' wallets. At A&P Food and Liquor in the 1900 block of West Peterson, robbers stole 2 cash drawers and 4 customer wallets. Robbers hit a Subway restaurant in the same strip mall on Peterson. They took money from a drawer at gunpoint and left in a dark-colored sedan. Another Subway restaurant was held up, and that happened in the 5200 block of North Nagle in Norwood Park.
I'm reading Super Chat shortly.
Robbers stole cash and took off in a dark-colored sedan, and the circumstances were nearly identical at a 7-Eleven in the 4700 block of North Elston in Irving Park. The getaway car, a dark-colored sedan.
Same car from yesterday, same car from Tuesday, same car from Thursday last week, and the same car from Wednesday the week before. Same description, same culprits, same area, same cars, same crimes. This is just last night. 6 armed robberies that they know of that was being reported, because there's some people that ain't even got to their business yet. 6 robberies across the north side. Always the north side.
Chicago police are not confirming whether several of these cases were connected, whether it may be the same crew responsible for a majority of these robberies. No suspects are in custody, no reports of anyone injured.
So that's what's happening over in Chicago. Shortage of officers. Brandon Johnson is over there just running the city into the ground as usual. Legislators, 50 aldermen don't own their streets, blah, 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 blah. We know the same story over and over again. It's happened to us all the time. Let me go ahead and read. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, Miss Parker. Patty Jackson is in the building, says, man, Anton, I've been trying to get on the CPD for a year and they won't take me because of college credits, even though, well, no. Patty Jackson is even though. That's why when you submit your resume, you can't say even though. You got to say even though, THOUTH, I work for the federal government. I just need them to waive that college requirement ASAP. Or you can go ahead and get them college credits. Listen, family. We got to stop trying to skirt the requirements. If this is what you want to do, then meet the requirements. Why are you not meeting the requirements? You can't tell them to lower their standards. You got to, come on. This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to skirt responsibility and get them to lower their standards in order for you to be able to get the job that you want. Now, you're not recruiting you. You want it. So if you want the job, go get the college credits and then take care of business. Come on, fam. Come on. We're not going to do that. We got to take care of business. We got to be on top of things. And if you want that job, if you want that position, if that's the thing that you really think that you meant to do, then go get the college credit. Stop being lazy. Manders 3026 said, hashtag internet never forgets. Talk to him, Manders. Talk to him, baby. Patty Jackson says, Chicago police also wants you to take the vaccine before they hire you. Okay, well, then maybe that's not the job for you. Or maybe you need to go to a different police department. There's thousands of different police departments all across the United States of the Americas. Black Ink says, AD really the best YouTuber out here. Where's his 30 million already? That's what I keep saying. I guess we all gonna be tied together forever right here doing Chat Lives Matters. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lot says she looked like the brat. What up, though? AR Smitty in the building says, Officer Coilere. I was looking at that little officer like, nah, she wouldn't be able to stop me. Ain't nothing that she could do to stop me. Not at all. E-Raw25 says, all the police in St. Louis look like D1 athletes. They ain't messing around up there. Bam Flacco says, everyone here in Chicago are armed nowadays. I thought that there was one of the toughest cities on gun laws. Do the right thing. I ain't never been blue. Talk to him, do the right thing. Tell dad I said what up though. Trapman Slay says Anton is the final boss. Ken J in the building says, that's why you never speak about your personal family conversations to the public, bro. That's your pops, dog. Keep No, speak about it so we can talk about it. The Gray Way says, AD sounded like Bernie Mac. I hate your black skin. I hate your black pants. I hate black pepper. That was Bernie Mac on Don't Do Boys in the Hood or something like that. I hate the black keys on the piano. I hate my black gums because they black. I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips. Hey, Whoopi Goldberg was out here talking about how I'm going to do a review video to Whoopi Goldberg soon. Shout out to the Great Way. I appreciate you, big dog. And shout out to all of the step baby daddies out here in these streets. Man, we a little bit behind because I done got all into my bag talking about being a step baby daddy. Woo! I don't know what to do no more. All right, what we got new? Oh, Ascension Hospital. We're going to get serious right now. So for the next 10 minutes, let me put on my timer. For the next 10 minutes, we're going to get serious about cyber attacks. All right? 10 minutes, 35 seconds. Cyber attacks. Ascension Healthcare. But I also got a really big point that I want to make as a result of this also. So let me bring you up to speed on what's going on out in these streets with the cyber attacks that's happening every single day that they don't want to tell you about. I'm going to continue to read Super Chats throughout the show. And I'm also reading Cash Apps because I see y'all in these streets on that too. Take a look.
We're going to go now to another developing story. Ascension Hospital still in the throes of a massive cyber attack a day after it was detected.
Some patients, we are told, have been diverted, while Ascension reverts to pen and paper to handle some patient records.
Yeah, in the latest update, Ascension saying it's trained for these kinds of disruptions. And it's as we continue to assess the impact and duration of the disruption.
Now, we talked with a cyber expert and ER doctor at Ascension and a spokesperson to get a better understanding for you what's happening right now and what's still to come. A cyber attack of unknown origin continues to disrupt clinical operations at Ascension Healthcare Network that serves 19 states with 140 hospitals, 14 in Michigan, including 6 here in Metro Detroit. In a Thursday statement, the health system says it is investigating, responded immediately, and has activated remediation efforts.
I believe that Ascension used to be called Trinity Healthcare, if I'm not mistaken, and then they changed it. I don't know. Somebody confirmed that for me. But I believe that Ascension Healthcare used to be called Trinity Healthcare. I used to have some people. Actually, it's pretty funny because I actually got denied a job back when I was a little bit down on my luck, and I thought that I was about to come up. And I went through the interview process, and they were saying, nah, you can't work here. So I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, y'all going to regret that because I'm definitely going to be rich as hell again one day. One day after the recession in 2008, this was one of the places that I had got an interview for. You know what's so funny? Let me just say this really quickly before we get too derailed. I've never, outside of my brother getting me the job at the plant, my very first job out of high school, I've never been the guy that's been able to land a job that somebody put me in for. You know, like how a family member, you talk to a family member, oh man, get me in there. My uncle was working at Ascension, formerly Ascension. It was Trinity Healthcare, if I'm not mistaken. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm going to get you in or whatever. You know, I'm going to hook you up. And he was at a high position because, you know, it was tough out here in these streets. So you really had to work your lefts and work your rights. And all the people that you had in your social circle and network, you have to tap in, right? And so I went and I applied or whatever. I went through the interview process and it was like, oh, no, we're not going to hire you or whatever. I've never been able to land those type of jobs for some reason. And maybe I'm just a C student and they didn't want to rock with me or whatever. Never been able to land those type of jobs where a family member refer you outside of my brother when I got in the steel mill. And I was just like, I was asking God, because, you know, at that time I really needed it. It was right there at the height of the recession. I had just got my cars repossessed and everything. And I needed that job. I really thought that I needed that job. And I just wasn't able to get it. And I prayed about it because I've always had a great relationship with God. And I was talking to God about it. And God said, nah, you got to get it on your own, because you don't want nobody to ever come to you and say that you owe them something, or that you don't want nobody ever to say that you didn't do it on your own. And that was an epiphany for me. You know, like, I heard it clear as day. God was talking to me that day. And I know y'all don't believe in people having a relationship with God, but he said, nah, you can't get it that way. You got to get it on your own. So can't nobody say that you owe them. And I was just like, you know, at the time I'm thinking to myself, no, I just really need this job so I can make sure that my family is taken care of. But we had to get it the long way. We had to get it out the mud. And so I always use that as motivation, and I use the no's, and I leverage that as motivation to push myself. And there was plenty of places that then tried to recruit me after I had gotten to certain spaces in my life, especially within the Metro Detroit area, because one thing that we always had was kind of a talent drain. So people would come here, you know, get their education, go to the University of Michigan, go to Michigan State, stuff like that. And then they would leave and go to different places like Atlanta and all of that. And, you know, I started to really become the man in social circles, especially within my network, once I started hitting my stride. And I didn't believe that they could afford me at that point. And so it was almost like the joke's on you. And I always believed that it was always better to get it on my own, because I didn't want nobody to ever hold nothing against me. I didn't want nobody to hold nothing over my head. And I kind of still had that sentiment to this day. It's like, if I don't get it on my own, or I don't want no handouts, or I don't want nobody trying to hook me up. I don't want hookups. I don't want none of that. I just want to get it out the mud. I want to provide you a service. If you feel like that service is sufficient, then, you know, obviously I'm going to be compensated accordingly, and I'm going to just rock out like that. But I don't want nobody giving me nothing. If you see value in what we do, I don't even ask y'all to hit the Cash App or Super Chats. That's all why I always say that, yo, the value that you see in this, you doing that on your own. And I'm going to always acknowledge the people that support the platform, but I'm never going to ask you for anything. If you see value in it, if you want to rock out with it, if you're going in this direction, then you're going to do it. But I'm always looking to add value, and then hopefully you're not able to live without it. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a mindset that I've had when it comes to jobs and success and stuff like that.
ER doctor in the Southeast Michigan system telling us today they've been told to expect systems to be down for the next 2 weeks, and they've had to override medication dispensing machines for patients. Some patients telling us on Facebook that Ascension staff is minimizing the impact. One telling us they've been to the ER twice in the last 12 hours, and despite the computer issues, everyone is very helpful and caring.
You can pretty much assume that Ascension is in scramble mode.
Scott Bailey is a Metro Detroit-based data security expert with extensive experience.
So we've done one of the largest healthcare data breaches in Michigan. We did one of the largest breaches of a public utility here in Michigan. So those were all both very significant. On the forensic side, I was brought in on the Oklahoma City bombing. I did.
And let me also say that there's nothing wrong with being referred or being brought in for the job. I just don't want to be hooked up. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. If you bringing me in because I'm referred, but I'm also qualified to do the job, and you're not just getting it for me because it's a hookup, that's one thing, because it is important to network, and people do things because they like you when you're a cultural fit, not just because you're best for the job. But at the same time, I don't want to get it just because you put me in for it. I want you to see the value that I bring to the organization and that I'm going to bring for you. And then that's why you're bringing me in, because you see it as a benefit to you into the organization, not because you're trying to hook me up. I will never take a job based off of a hookup unless it gets down to 2008 again. Let me just be clear. But at this point in my life, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no hookups, you know? And if I do get hooked up, I want to make you look really, really good, because I appreciate you for even putting me in that position.
I did work on the Kwame Kilpatrick case. I'm the digital forensic e-discovery consultant to the Attorney General's office for the Flint water crisis.
Is it possible that the breach is active right now still?
I mean, it certainly could be. When you think about Ascension is a massive organization in multiple states. Some threat actors, you know, when they actually get into a system, they will be putting or try to put backdoors into that system.
What does this mean for the system? What's happening for the patients and for the caregivers at Ascension?
Either they're down because of the cyber attack directly, meaning possibly a ransomware attack that's encrypted the systems,
It
or
is.
they were deliberately
Ransomware
turned down
attack.
to prevent further damage. They're having to now go back to, what a lot of people today would call the Stone Age, 1980, when everything was done by pencil and paper.
It's certainly not the first cyber attack aimed at a healthcare system. Change Healthcare, paying out $22 million for a February ransomware attack, and Bailey believes a payout is the likely motivation for the attack on Ascension 2.
Let me pivot for a second and show something else before we move over into the next thing. Because Ascension is located in multiple different states, not just Michigan, not just Chicago. It's in a lot of places.
Thank you for joining
What up,
us.
Messi?
I'm Julia Thatcher. Jeff Herndon has the evening off. We continue to follow a developing story. Nurses at Ascension Via Christi are shedding light on an apparent cyber attack at local hospitals. The emergency rooms not accepting patients from 911 calls. Tonight, KSN's Adam Orduna is live at Via Christi St. Francis. Adam, what is the latest?
Julia, a spokesperson from Ascension did confirm that there were disruptions within clinical operations throughout the hospital. Now, what we do know is that they are prepared for these types of situations, and they say that they are making impact on patients as minimal as possible. Now, I spoke with a nurse to learn more about how the cyber situation is affecting their responsibilities. She said that the operating rooms were shut down today. She also says that the systems they use to scan medications before giving them to patients is also down, along with their electrical charts, saying that the manual operations aren't as efficient.
We are paper charting. All medications and all lab orders are being handwritten and sent by pneumatic tube systems to the unit that they are supposed to go to.
So basically what's being talked about in social circles or across the internet in particular, or across the news, is that it is a ransomware attack. The systems is down, and they're going to probably have to pay the ransom. And in the meantime, they operating off of a legacy system instead of operating off of this digital system that we've now become interdependent on. But the biggest takeaway from this is not necessarily the ransomware attack. It's the fact that you see this as an opportunity, right? A job opportunity. What is the biggest, and why I always, when people say, Anton, would you ever become a software? If you got to do it all over again, or if you exist in 2024 and you have to make a decision, would you ever become a software engineer? Or would you go into cybersecurity? For me personally, I'm going into cybersecurity 10 times out of 10 because that is the most needed. It is going to be, in my opinion, personally, especially going into the digital age with artificial intelligence and more attacks on the rise, and literally every single type of business that you can think of, from hospital systems, private and public, to casinos. MGM Grand and Caesars just got hit. To federal governments and or local governments and stuff like that. They are all being basically crippled, and they have to invest more money every single day into these systems or cybersecurity professionals in order to be able to protect what it is that they got going on, especially with us moving into a digital age. And so as things become more efficient and effective as far as how we moving, we also got to take into consideration the protection that goes along with that. And so for me personally, if I'm giving a recommendation, I'm telling you to do it the right way, go to school the right way, get great grades, network effectively, and then break into the cybersecurity profession, because you will make a bag, and you will always, you don't see anybody in cybersecurity ever saying that they got laid off. You never, ever, and I'm not saying you can't be a software engineer, because software engineers is awesome also. It's always going to be a need for multiple levels in STEM. But you have never heard of anybody saying that I'm a cybersecurity professional and I got laid off. It is a crazy amount of demand for people that actually is going into cybersecurity personally. So that's what I take from it, because I'm a bag chaser. Let me read a couple of the super chats, and then we're going to continue over with the show. All right. Let me see what we got here. Got Glow. Big Glow is in the building, says the hero Chicago needs. Big Glow said he gonna rock out with Chicago no matter what. I see you, Glow. Xavier Johnson is in the building. Xavier says, man, my father-in-law had a mini stroke yesterday, and I had to drive from Novi to Ypsilanti because of this cyber attack. Wow, really? Should have went into the University of Michigan's hospital systems, baby. I guess that's why you was over in Ypsilanti. Man, blessings up for your father, your stepfather. Trap says, I start school in August and my major is cybersecurity. Yeah, go into cybersecurity. And dedicate yourself to it, for real. Like, really get into it. Ascension is Connecticut has been under attack since 23. I guess you're saying Connecticut, right? I guess you're saying Connecticut. I don't know. But anyways, I appreciate y'all for continuing to support the platform. Let me also acknowledge, give me a second to make sure I got everybody. I want to acknowledge my dog, Brian Hunter, in the building. Thank you, Brian Hunter. Thank you for always holding me down here on the Millionaire Morning Show. It is absolutely appreciated, and I'm going to continue to read Super Chats throughout the show. All right, so we got to go ahead and pick up the pace a little bit. I want to talk about election 2024 before we get into the reaction videos and we get into the jobs videos, because we got some good news and we got some bad news. Before we get into all of that news, let's spend 10 minutes, a quick 10, to talk about election 2024, because I know that it's easy to get distracted. And what we see happening in the streets today is that it's so many things that they're trying to throw in front of your face in order to prevent you from paying attention to the real issues, and that you should not be voting based off of identity politics. You should not be voting based off of party. You have to vote based off of policy. Policy. Not whether you like the person, not whether they black, not whether or not they're a Democrat or a Republican. The policies, both nationally and locally, the policies that mean the most to you. So I just want to bring you guys up to speed on where each presidential candidate is stomping at this current moment. Trump, in particular, is rallying in a deep blue state, I believe Jersey. I don't know, but they're expecting over 40,000 people to show up in a deep blue state. No way.
Former President Trump headed to New Jersey tomorrow for a major campaign rally in the Garden State. More than 40,000 supporters expected to turn out. That is in sharp contrast to just 100 people showing up for Biden's rally in Wisconsin on Wednesday. And taking a deeper dive into each candidate's past 6 events shows half of Biden's campaign stops were private fundraisers, while 5 of the last 6 events for Trump were public campaign stops. Joining me now are 3 New Jersey voters, William Atkins, Jeannie Isaacson, and Roy Perret. Thanks to all 3 of you for being here. William, I'll begin with you. What does it mean that Trump can get 40,000 people to attend a rally at the shore 2 weeks before Memorial Day, when we all know in Jersey nobody heads to the shore 2 weeks before Memorial Day?
Nobody heads to the shore 2 weeks before Memorial Day in Jersey? I thought that Jersey, everybody's supposed to head to the shore to party before Memorial Day. I don't know. I'm learning as I go. I want to go to the Borgata. I'm definitely trying to visit the Borgata, and I believe it's Atlantic City pretty soon.
Well, it means that there's momentum in New Jersey. It means that Trump is paying attention to the numbers. And I just like to give the NJGOP a shout out with this, because they're doing an amazing ground game at registering new party voters. And in New Jersey, over the past few months, we've had double the Republican registrations than Democrat registrations. And so for a blue state, it really puts an emphasis on what could happen in November. And I'd like to look at 2 polls from Washington, another blue state, that have Trump up by 1% and 5% in the November general election.
That's wild.
And so seeing numbers like those and seeing the party registrations in New Jersey and how many people are going to be standing in line to hear from President Trump on Saturday, there's no question why he'd be coming to New Jersey.
Yeah, we're going to delve into those numbers in a moment, but I want to stick with the focus on what Trump on the trail means. And when I go to you, Roy, my question is this New York trial really having any impact on what you, your neighbors, family, friends are saying about whether or not they're going to vote for Donald in 2024?
It's not having a negative impact. So if anything, it's going in the opposite, because they can't believe that this is happening to a civilized nation. What's happening with the trial is really what you would think would happen either in communism or a third world country. So this, I say, is definitely helping. When he has free time, of course, he has to stay local. He went to the bodegas in Harlem. He's doing things in New York, and 100% this will help him, I feel, in multiple states, and it's showing already. And New Jersey, I agree, will turn red this time around, as long as they could follow up on voter integrity, check out voter IDs. I feel New Jersey will be switching just like many other states out there.
What other states? What other states do you guys think is going to turn red? Or do you think that any states are going to turn red? I'm curious as to how many of my people. Let me see if I can do a poll real quick. Let's see. I think I'm going to try to do a poll real quick because I'm curious who is voting and what are you voting? I'm going to throw a poll up in the chat real quick. All right, I just got that poll up. I'm going to check it in a few minutes. Let me continue this show.
Wow, that is quite a statement. And when you look at the numbers themselves that William alluded to, Jeannie, they are fascinating because the New Jersey GOP has more than double Democrats with registering new voters 2 months in a row now. Here's the actual breakdown of those numbers. Last month, Jersey Republicans registered over 3,000 new voters. Democrats only added 1,000. And in the month of March, New Jersey Republicans had about the same, while Democrats actually lost 300 voters.
I don't think that New York is ever going
to
red.
Do you think this is
or
random
California.
New voters deciding, hey, I've never voted before and I'm going to join the GOP? Or is this the GOP establishment in New Jersey switching Democrat voters who are tired with the way things are going in the Garden State?
Oh, it's definitely a lot of switching going on. I know for sure. I know quite a few Democrats that have now definitely switched. They're not going to be voting for Biden, that's for sure. How could you? I mean, we have so many illegals coming through the border committing these crimes, and here we are with these scandal trials with Trump. I mean, when in history have you ever had a president go through the things that this man is going through? He does not need to put himself through these things. He has more than enough money and time to go live a happy life somewhere than to deal with the things that he's putting himself through for the American people. He's doing.
I think that Democrats probably overplayed their hand on this one. I do. I think that you basically just created a cocktail bomb that I'm not sure if you guys can win at this point. I just really don't. I think that the more that Democrats go after him, the more invigorated people become to make sure that he get in office because they sick of business as usual, traditional politicians. And I think that they overplayed their hand when they started to go through the whole prosecution method instead of winning based off of their own merits and their own ability to be able to govern the United States of America and what Biden's track record has been as far as helping people or whether or not he's resonating with the people in the United States of America. When it started trying to take the focus away from that and they tried to make him public enemy number one, they just made him more popular than ever. They overplayed their hand and they made him more popular than ever. Absolutely. Meanwhile, Biden is drumming up support over in the Bay Area. Take a look.
Now 7:01 and President Biden is back in the Bay Area.
Yeah, he's going to be attending some fundraising events. He's expected to be met with some protesters. As we know, some are being planned.
Before we play that, let me see what the results are. 82% of y'all to 3%. 82% of people in this poll is voting for Trump. 3% is voting for Biden. 15% is saying that they not voting. I'm assuming that y'all illegal immigrants that's out here not voting. But yeah, 82% to 3 to 15. That's pretty telling. That's pretty telling, y'all.
On 4's Will Tran is live outside the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco where the president is staying. What's going on right now, Will?
Right now, it is quiet, but there is heavy security. He's been here several times. We do know last November as well as a couple of months ago in February. But this time, guys, just from my own perspective, I see a lot more police presence as well as Secret Service because they know that the protesters know that he is in town and they plan to rally to get a message across to him. Yes, they've been doing it on college campuses, but now they can get as close as they possibly can without being pushed back by security or those barricades to send a message to him, the pro-Palestine supporters, that they want a change in U.S. policy. Now, the president is presumably up at this time. I'm sure he's taking phone calls. After that, he will leave the Fairmont Hotel for a fundraiser at 11 o'clock this morning. He actually arrived in town yesterday, so let me show you video of that. He arrived at Moffett Field, went to San Francisco, where, of course, he was escorted, but along the way, some protesters and many supporters greeted him as he made his way to the Fairmont. This visit here, it is not anything about national policy. It is strictly fundraising. 2 events. He will leave San Francisco a lot richer than he was arriving. Reportedly, the event at 11 o'clock this morning should raise millions of dollars because reportedly just to attend could be anywhere between $200,000 and $250,000. He was actually here in San Francisco back in February for fundraisers as well. He will leave today, go to Seattle, and you guessed it, more fundraising. The president knows he needs every dollar because he is in for a battle with former President Donald Trump. And according to political experts, James and Doria, they say it will cost billions of dollars this time around for November, which is why he is here looking for more money. And in the meantime, if you are here in San Francisco, expect a lot of road closures. You can see all of the barricades behind me. Cable cars, the legendary cable cars on California, they are not being allowed to go through, of course, because it's been shut off. So if you want to hop on something, hop on a bus to go around this location, not cable cars. We're going to monitor the situation. We do know it's going to be a lot of rallying happening at the event at 11 o'clock, but you never know. Protesters, they could be right next to me anytime now, which is why.
Yo, a couple different things. Number one, billions with a B, billions being spent on trying to get one person elected, or billions between the two trying to get people elected. The amount of money, now I understand it's marketing, I understand, social media marketing, flying, all of this stuff. Billions? It's insane, bro. The amount of money that's going into these campaigns, I think, is just disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful to the election process. It just messes everything up. You don't really get a real result from it. So I don't know. Just keeping y'all informed and up to date on what's going on as far as election 2024. Biden is on a mass campaign raising money thing where he's basically using the federal government and you know how much it costs in order for them to fly to certain places in order to fundraise so that they can eventually try to win the presidential election. All right. Let me go ahead and read the super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show because I got a couple more things that I want to cover. Biz Q says white hats should get paid better and the black hats will cross over. Man, I don't think no black hats is trying to cross over. Only time you see black hats crossing over is when they get caught. Victor Williams is in the building, says, quick note of cybersecurity. A cyber degree is mostly policy-based. There are a few technical courses in it, but that's not the focus. You will be writing a lot of papers. Shout out to Victor Williams. He can give you that insight. Anton from Anton Daniels can't, because Anton from Anton Daniels is not a cybersecurity professional. But we do have some people inside of the Patreon and the Discord. So when you join the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you tap into the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos inside of the Patreon. All right. So let's go ahead and continue to pivot. I think that this one is a good one. So we're going to give y'all a feel-good story, and then we're going to do a reaction video to a woman that basically saying that her, the economy is messed up, and that's why everybody is broke. And so we're going to dig into that. But for right now, here's the question, because I'm seeing a tale of two worlds. The first world that I'm seeing is where people are saying, ain't no jobs, the economy is messed up. We see these reaction videos where these women are basically crying and they say, oh my God, I'm getting rejected. And then I see other videos where the post office is saying, I'm hiring. So here's my question. Here's my question as we get into this video. My question is there really a shortage of jobs, or is there a shortage of the jobs that you want to do? Let's get into it.
Now this, a woman in Michigan is helping change the conversation about millennials in trade jobs.
So that building, which I didn't actually look at this video before I did it, but that building right there, this video or that picture that you're seeing is actually a very, very old picture, because the Michigan train station, which I had showed you guys last week, is actually getting set and ready to open in June. So they put over $1 billion. This is in Detroit. They put over $1 billion into redoing the Michigan Central train station. And it is now going to be the technology hub, and it's going to be open to retail space and parties and concerts and stuff. But it's mainly the majority of the floors is going to be allocated towards the technology space for automaker and a major automaker here in Metro Detroit, and where all of their software engineers and their technology workers are, and autonomous research and development and everything like that. But throughout that process, what we're experiencing over here in Michigan is a ton of construction that is going on, and that is one of the pictures. I guess that girl right there is one of the women that decided that she wanted to go into maybe skilled trades. I don't know.
Tiffany Young originally planned to graduate college, have a career perhaps in either nursing or graphic design, but then she changed her mind and became an iron worker, just like her dad. Great story. Tiffany and her dad, Robert, join me now. Robert, let me begin with you. You spent 35 years in the trade. What's your advice to young people looking to get into the business?
I think all young people should try it. We've had a lot of generations go to college. We don't have enough people out in the field anymore for all trades, whether it be ironwork, carpenter, electrician. All the trades are looking for people. So we need a few kids to come in, and you go through the apprenticeship programs, and you come back out of a 4-year program, you're debt free. There's no debt involved in it.
So now your daughter is into ironworking. Did you want her to go to college? What was your feelings on that?
I left it up to her. She decided what she wanted to do. I didn't push her to do anything.
Yeah.
I never went to college. And she went to college and tried it and didn't like it, and then kind of really surprised me that, hey, Dad, I want to be an iron worker. I said, well, you can be whatever you want. And I had her go back to college for another year to take up a welding course, which accelerated her in our iron worker program for our apprenticeship out of Local 25 out of Detroit.
Got some great pictures on the screen of you two. Let me bring in Tiffany. Tiffany, what made you change your mind about college?
She's frozen.
She froze. No, well, let's get back to Dad. Unfortunately, Dad, your daughter's video link has frozen, but that's great. We have you here. Are there plenty of jobs in this industry?
There's thousands and thousands of jobs nationwide for all trades. And it's a very good income, very good income.
I don't think that there is a lack of jobs inside the United States of America. That's the conclusion that I'm coming to. What I realize is that most people really don't want to work. They don't. And for a person like me, I will tell you that, and maybe it's just because of my background or you know where I come professionally, I will tell you that I get offers all the time for me to come and tour or to talk about or to speak with somebody about a potential position and all of that. Like, I don't even entertain it anymore because I'm so comfortable doing what it is that I do. And I'm not even talking about content creation. A lot of you guys already know that I stand on and I advocate for regular everyday workers and jobs. And I still have a corporate position that I absolutely love being a part of because they pay me a lot of money. Now, I am getting garnished right now. Yeah, I just got a notification in my email just a little bit ago, and they said, Anton, we've taken out this amount of money out of your paycheck, and I don't even notice it because I don't really care. But I get great bonuses. I get great equity. We don't care as much about we don't care as much about the base pay because I use that for my daughter, and then I use that, to pay some other people, and I pay Rita out of it. But we do care about the healthcare coverage. We care about, 401k. We care about the bonuses. We care about the equity, and we care about the fact that we're going to secure all bags, and we letting no money go. And so I'm not the type of person to where, oh man, I'm just a full-time content creator. No, I'm a bag chaser. I'm a chaser to my core. I want it all. I want all the dollars that is available to me. Man, let me tell you something. If I had the capacity to be able to get out here and be driving Uber and DoorDash, I would be the best Uber and DoorDasher that you could possibly think of. It doesn't make sense for me because that does not align with what my time is worth. However, if I was able to get a huge bag and I was able to live stream in the car and be talking about the Millionaire Morning Show, don't think that I wouldn't. Don't think that I wouldn't. Absolutely not. And you're right, Eric Daniels. Everybody can't work from home, so it's not necessarily convenient. But my point is that for me, it's about what pays the bill. I know a lot of people focus a lot of time on what my title is or what my position is, or I'm a data analyst. Oh, I'm the director of whatever. I'm the boss chick of this, and I'm this and that, and I oversee the whole department of finance and accounting and everything. Man, I don't care nothing about your title. I care about the results. And so the goal is to do what you have to do so that you can then ultimately do what you want to do. The goal is to do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. I want to continue to deploy every single dollar and all of my resources into my investments that ultimately allow for me to be able to pay for my luxury items and then continue to increase my net worth and be rewarded accordingly for what it is that I put in as far as the work. And I love every single thing that I do. But so many people are caught up. Listen, if you tell a chick that you a lineman, she liable to dish you because you ain't an NFL player. You ain't out here tricking and scamming. You ain't saying that you owning a construction company or some crap like that. Listen, your job is to make as much money as possible, deploy the resources and the assets, allow those assets to continue to multiply and compound over a period of time, and get to the money. But I don't think that people want to do electricians. You know how much linemen to make? I got a cousin that's a lineman down in Florida, and he makes a crazy amount of money. You know how much millwrights make, iron workers make, electricians make, plumbers make. I showed y'all some of the checks that I write over into the plumbers. I just wrote a check for, is it $8,900, $9,000 to the person that's going to be doing the installation on one of the properties that I'm building. Just sent a check for $18,700 for some cabinets that I'm getting installed. Then we got to go in there and do flooring. But people don't want to do physical work anymore. They want to work from home. They want to chill. They want to, you know what I'm saying? They think that they can do what I do, but they don't have the consistency, and they're not as good as I am at doing what I do as far as content creation. Everybody want to do the same thing because it seems popular. But I will also tell you this. Content creation is hard. It is hard. I don't know anybody that is a content creator that does not work their butts off. And some of them, most of them still have full-time jobs. They got to edit, they got to plan, they got to put this stuff together. As a matter of fact, one of my good friends, he popped up on After Hours last night, Angry Man. Listen, Angry Man is incredibly successful because Angry Man puts in the work. Angry Man works his butt off. I mean, he work his butt off. And most podcasts is not even profitable. I don't care what their numbers are. They don't even know how to monetize correctly. So it's a lot of factors that go into it. If you want to deep dive into that conversation, if you want to know what I make as a content creator, I actually put that up on a Patreon. The link is in the description, and I actually give you the game, and I break down the numbers, and I show you every single thing, including my deposits on a monthly basis, to show you the type of money that I generate and how we able to leverage content creation in order to get to way more bags. But my point is that anything you do, whether you're working for yourself or you're working professionally, is difficult. The goal is to make as much money as possible.
You know, so many youngsters, Robert, have been sold this bill of goods that you have to go to college if you're going to get anything done in life. And in many cases, not everyone is cut out for college, and the vocational training is pretty impressive in this country. But do you think more people, more youngsters are waking up to that?
I believe they are. Back when I was a younger man, I was not forced, but pressured in the trade schools. I was taught that trade schools were good.
Yeah.
Everybody in the Ascension has been pressurized to go to college, and these kids are getting in some deep debt that they can't get out of.
Yeah, listen, y'all, be very, very careful of what path you decide to take as a professional. Just understand that we in it to get to the bag. We're not necessarily in it just to get the title, because the title don't necessarily translate into money, and make sure that you prevent yourself from getting a lot of debt, regardless of what you do. Let me read a couple of the super chats, and then we're going to get to the last part of the show, which is my favorite part of the show, and it's a reaction video. Kwame says, great show, Anton, 25, working in cybersecurity, living in Canada with family, looking to move back to the U.S. In your opinion, what states should be on my short list? Well, since you asked, if you're looking at it from a tax perspective, I would look at Nevada. I would also look at maybe Texas, Florida. I don't like Florida's real estate market. I'm not a fan of certain blue cities inside of Texas like Houston. I am a fan of Nashville, although Nashville can be very expensive. But all of those states that I just named, for example, are states that does not have a state tax. So, you have to pay the federal taxes. I think that they make up for that when it comes to property taxes and the cost of living. A lot of times it can be really high. Stay away from the West Coast, all right? Don't do nothing in Seattle. Don't do anything in California. If you are going to go to the West Coast, maybe consider Nevada because it's very close to being able to fly back and forth to California if that's what you want to do. Arizona, some people like it. I think that Arizona's weather is too extreme and they're having water problems. Nevada, they're having a few water problems also. Stay away from the East Coast. Anything in New York, taxes in California and New York is too high. Me personally, I prefer the Midwest. I think that the Midwest has the best opportunities, the lowest cost of living. It's surrounded by the Great Lakes, which is the biggest body of water. We literally are right across the street from Canada. I think I'm going to go over to Windsor or maybe even Toronto today. And I think that there's more investment opportunities here also. So the cost of living is low. Not Chicago, all right? Not Chicago. But the cost of living is low. The property taxes is reasonable. You're going to have to deal with weather problems. And you may run into some liberal cities, but it's way more investment opportunities. So if you're looking at it from a tax perspective, look at the states that I listed. If you're looking at it from an opportunistic perspective, I think that the Midwest is where it's at. That's just me personally. You asked for my personal opinion, that's my personal opinion. Shout out to you, big dog. And if you want to get back and forth to Canada quickly, then Michigan is definitely where it's at, all right? I like Michigan. I don't plan on ever leaving Michigan. It is my favorite place to be. The Great Way says people want to work jobs that require no working. Right. And that's why it's called a job, right? And then that's why they just overbroke, the real acronym for a job for a lot of these people. All right, let me continue on. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, a woman says this economy is trash. This economy is trash. Her name is The Upgrade. Now, I don't know where she got that name from. I don't know anything about her. Y'all sent this to me to react to. When this is chopped up, if I decide to chop it up, I will put a link to her YouTube channel in the description, but you could just go over there and check it out. Her name is The Upgrade on YouTube, and she has a pretty decent following. She has over 54,000 subscribers. 54,000 subscribers, all right? And the name of the video is called This Economy Sucks. I have not reviewed the video. I have not seen it yet. You guys send it to me, and so we're going to all react to it together. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what she's talking about.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the economy. Really how bad the economy is right now. This is going to be a rant style video, which is pretty much me saying that I'm going to be complaining. So I just wanted to give you all a heads.
2 = 1. You said you just watched her video? What'd you think about it? Let me know what you think about it. You subscribe to her? Okay, all right. We're going to see what she's talking about.
up on that. Complaining is pretty much my favorite hobby. I love to complain. I feel like more people need to do it because I feel like it's okay to see that there's a problem and you don't necessarily know the solution. That's pretty much what complaining is to me. I know that you all have noticed the changes in the economy. Everything is so expensive nowadays. It's crazy. I really just wanted to have a conversation. So feel free to leave your complaints down in the comments below. This is a safe space. I wanted to mention something that I forgot to say on the last video I uploaded.
Let me warn y'all, it's never a safe space. It's never a safe space to vent. It's never a safe space in nobody's comments. It's never, ever a safe space. I just want to let y'all know that. Anytime that you decide to give your opinion on the internet, it will never be a safe space. I don't care what they tell you.
Uploaded, but I am no longer a budgeting content creator. My goal is not to be a financial guru. My goal is to just be open with you all and taking you all on this journey called my life. I'm not a know-it-all. I really don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who I am. I don't have life figured out. I'm not the person to look to for that. I'm just a very open book type person, and I like to share my experiences for those who might be going through something similar. So just remember, when you're watching my content, you're watching someone who's just trying to figure her life out, right? Just like
I rock with that. I rock with the idea that she's documenting the journey and she's letting you know that, listen, I'm not a guru. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't necessarily know the answers, but I am going to give my thoughts because it's my channel and I'm taking y'all through the journey. What more can you ask for? I think that that's awesome.
Like everybody else, I'm just doing it on camera. So now let's go ahead and get into the video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. Number one, let's start off with my comment about normalized poverty, because that's something I really noticed. I am not mad at the content creators who are showing alternative ways of living, right? I'm not mad at them for showing the RV living, tiny home living. I actually appreciate them showing other ways to live, because a lot of us won't be able to own a house, right? What I meant by normalized poverty is the people who criticize those who work full-time jobs for wanting a home and basic necessities. You follow? The people that say, oh, well, if you can't buy a house, you need to go to Home Depot and live in a shed. The people that say, if you can't afford a shed, then you need to live in your vehicle.
Nah, I'm with you.
That's what I meant by normalized poverty. I don't know how many times I see people saying, well, if your 2 jobs aren't working, then you need a 3rd job. No, they don't. They shouldn't. The issue is the economy, not the people. If people are working jobs, they should have enough to own a home. A home is not a luxury, at least.
Nope, you're wrong. You're right about the whole normalizing poverty thing. You're wrong about people deserve anything. Nobody deserves anything. You get what you earn. And the part that we really not having a conversation about it is not always just the economy. It's your life circumstances and your life choices. Most of us have self-inflicted wounds. We feel like we deserve a car. And so we've adopted this mindset that it's okay to get a whole car note, or we deserve this house or whatever. Okay, well, where is this house exactly located? Because you can go and get a house, but you may not necessarily want the house that you can afford. And so what we do is because come on, look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Interest rates ain't even remotely as high as they used to be. And I'm not talking about in the early 2020s or the 90s. I'm talking about the 80s, the 70s, the 90s. Interest rates were much higher than they are today. And so what your grandparents had to forego in order to own that property that y'all then didn't care about when they died, and y'all decided to either let it go or let it go back to bank or let it go to the hood or sell it for a cheap profit in order to go and spend some money so you can go over and be a passport bro over in the Dominican Republic. Your parents actually paid huge interest rates, double-digit interest rates, to own their home, and that was the dream. The dream was to ultimately own a home with a white picket fence, have some children, live a simple life, but that's not what y'all want to do. Y'all not just owning homes. Y'all want to travel to Dubai. You want to get BBLs. Y'all want to go and do all of this wild stuff. And I'm not talking about her in particular, but I'm saying that people are normalizing a lifestyle that's not relevant to what it was that it used to be as far as what we seen as the American dream. People don't just want to own homes. They want to own homes. They want to own baby mansions. They want to stunt on people. They want to own $1 million homes. They want to live in California, right? They don't want to go with the thing that's best for them. They want to go with the thing that they think that they deserve. And so everybody that just got a job, Not even a good job. Not even a job that you, listen, we think that people that work at McDonald's are supposed to make $20 an hour. That's how outside of or out of whack that we are as far as what we think or what we normalize. And so I think that the context matters. I don't think that everybody just deserves a home. I think that most people need to stay down long enough to get to the point to where they can actually afford the lifestyle that they want, not necessarily automatically believe that they deserve it just because they went and got a job. That's not enough. You can't just go and get a job just working at McDonald's. I mean, you can't just go and get a crib and be living next to me working at McDonald's and then be looking at me crooked when I pull up in my nice car. No, I grinded. I hustled. I put everything that I had into this, and I stayed down long enough in order to benefit from it. It's a difference.
It shouldn't be a luxury. We're not saying mansion, we're saying a house. And these people get attacked when they're upset that they can't afford a house because they're just supposed to live in an RV. I know y'all don't like to hear it, but an RV is a vehicle. It's a vehicle. I feel personally that people are entitled to a home if they are working a job and they're working 9 to 5 and they spend more time at work than they do at home, then they deserve a home.
My grandfather, and I told y'all this because I said this on After Hours yesterday. My grandmother is 91 years old, and I think she was born in 1933 or 34 or something like that. She has never worked a day in her life. Not one day in her life. The only thing, she has never actually been into a job, not one day in her entire life. My grandfather, and this is on my mother's side, since the story has ever been told, he has always, until the day that he died, he always worked 2 jobs. He has never not had 2 jobs. These were people that were born in the 30s. Now, y'all in 2024 are talking about y'all feeling some type of way about working more than 8 hours, or you got to work an extra hour of overtime. And oh my God, man, listen, this ain't nothing new. Y'all are not unique. Y'all not special. My grandfather worked 2 jobs from the day that he opened his eyes until the day that he wound up retiring just a few years before he died. And so what was normal, and the jobs were much harder. They were much more demanding. They required more. It was harder on your body. It was more taxing. It was actually more physical. And so what y'all think is abnormal because y'all got to sit at a desk and answer a phone is not abnormal. Y'all got it much easier than the people of yesteryear, and they still was getting laid off, and they still had to suffer. So y'all feeling like y'all deserve something just because you woke up, or you got to work a job, or you got to work 8 hours a day? Come on, man. Like, we in a cupcake world. You got to compete. You got to compete, man.
Everyone deserves a home. Now, to really talk about the home prices, I really wanted to dissect this because I am going to be selling my home. I made that decision. Well, I'm 99% sure that I'm going to be selling my home. And it is so sad that I bought my house in 2024 and told me that I could list my house for $265,000. $100,000 more in 4 years. For me as the seller, am I happy to hear that? Yes. For the person that's going to be out here trying to find somewhere to live, am I happy about that? No. So it's good until it's not good.
Because you can choose. Because you could choose to sell it at a cheaper place if you really felt that way about it. But guess what? You're capitalistic just like everybody else. And you're not lowering the price because you're being selfish until you can be selfless. That's just the facts. You're not lowering the price, and one of the reasons why you invested in real estate was so that you can get the appreciation of what came along with, quote unquote, owning a home. You don't feel sorry for these people? Now, me, on the other hand, I can say, well, I've never raised the rent on any of the people that's ever rented any of my properties, and I leave the rates exactly what it is because it's not costing me anymore except for the slight increase in property taxes that I got to pay every single year. But because I own the properties outright, I don't have any additional costs. I'm not tripping about it. I'm not refinancing. Everything is all to the good. We don't really feel sorry for people. It just sounds good on camera, though.
And I live low-key in the ghetto. So the fact that I couldn't even get approved for my house had I bought this year is, you get what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. And I've been keeping up with the housing market. It doesn't look like it's ever going to go down. But you know what? I think that eventually it will have to, because even if corporations, which are the main ones buying up these houses, if corporations buy up these houses, they're not going to be able to charge that much in rent right this second, you know? So
yes, they are. But she is right about one thing. She's right about the fact that you are also competing against corporate buyers and corporate entities that are stabilizing their investments by allowing themselves to invest in real estate instead of just competing against other home buyers, in addition to the interest rates that's there to keep down inflation, tamp down inflation, because we continue to print more money and we send in more money and we fiscally irresponsible as far as our federal government and our local government on top of that. And then last but not least, people have no incentive to sell their home because guess what? They got to go and buy and finance another one at a higher rate, interest rate, than what their original rate was. So for a lot of people, they saying, I'm not selling my home, which also keeps inventory artificially low, and you're not going to ever have a situation where people feel the need to lower the prices because there is no competition, considering that people don't want that higher interest rate. Now, if you was able to sell your home like they do over in California and then move down to Texas and then just buy your home cash, then that's one thing. But if you selling your home in order to take that down payment and moving into a different crib, a lot of people are saying, well, unless I have to move, it's no reason that I am going to move, because why would I pay the higher interest rate? So there's additional context in that.
So the average rent in my neighborhood is about $1,650, really lower than that. And so if someone was to buy this house, they could only rent it out for about $1,700, even with a lot of renovations. That's actually what happened to my neighbor who bought their house for Airbnb. The Airbnb business slowed down and they're renting it out, but they're not renting it out for probably as much as the mortgage, because they bought that house for almost $300,000 in 2022 when the market was crazy, right? I say that all to say, if that's not proof that there's a bigger problem, I don't know what to say. Now let's get on number 2, which is car prices. As someone who had a rental car business and owned 15 cars, I feel like I really know the car market fairly well. Around the year 2022, the car market was insane, and it was due to a chip shortage, which caused for less cars to be pushed out, right?
Correct.
With that happening, that raised the price of both new and used vehicles. Follow me. This is how ridiculous it is. In the year 2020, I went to see how much my trade-in value would be for this particular car, a 2016 Honda Civic. They said $6,000 was as much as they could give for it. I went in 2022, when I thought about trading it in, they offered me $11,000, and then when I said no, that's okay, I was gonna leave, they offered me $12,000. Double
she 100%
than what they
correct.
offered. We used to say, okay, if you can't afford a new car, buy used. Buying pre-owned was the best. It wasn't like that then. I will say, and I have good news for those looking to buy a car, the car prices are dropping drastically.
Partially because there's a lot of repossessions. Subprime credit lenders are absolutely getting killed. Finance companies are getting a lot of these cars returned. A lot of people can't afford the interest rates and all of these exorbitant car prices. Car prices are dropping because demand is getting low, and more people bought Hellcats and Chargers than they could actually afford, and so they got to return them back because they couldn't afford the insurance nor the gas, and they was being stupid. And so she's 1,000% correct when it comes to the car market, because there was a chip shortage, but unfortunately, people are not stopped buying cars. The market is becoming a little bit lower, a little bit softer. A lot of banks are starting to do a lot of write-downs because a lot of people are getting their cars repossessed. The rent moratorium was up, so people got to start paying rent now. What also contributed to that was the student loans. So people are now starting to have to pay back their student loans. So there's a lot of factors that go into that also, but it's all encompassing. It's based off of your lifestyle. And if you are the type of person that's not able to tamp down your lifestyle or your cost of living, ultimately you're going to have to give something up because you got to pay something in order to continue to keep something. And they keep preaching to y'all about credit, so you want to make sure you keep your credit good and you don't want to get your car repossessed.
I still have very, very good relationships with all the dealerships I shop with, and they are having a hard time selling cars right now. Why are they not selling? For a few reasons. Number one, the interest rates are insane. Yep. People are not locking into these contracts for these expensive cars that they're going to have to pay off for 8 years. And the one
I don't know about that. It's a lot of people that are, because a lot of people are going based off of whether or not they can afford the payment than they are about the interest rate. She's an informed buyer, especially with regard to cars, so it's a little bit different for her. But a lot of people are starting to lock in. They lock in for longer payments or longer terms, worse payments, and they basically mortgage in their future and they giving a bunch of money over into the interest of the car.
Ones who did, they're telling the banks to come get the cars. They're not paying on it anymore. I'm one of them, right? Voluntary repossessions are through the roof.
Yep.
So if you're not familiar with what that is, that's pretty much you giving the car back to the bank and just saying, hey, I don't want to pay on it anymore. Will you owe the difference? Yes, but you're able to kind of negotiate with the bank once they pick it up. But I will say, I'm seeing every time car prices going down. The longer we hold off, and again, I'm not an expert, I think car prices are going to go down pretty hefty.
That's true for the regular market. It's not for the exotic car market or for luxury vehicles. For luxury vehicles, there is still a wait. When you get above, let's say the 100, 120, 130 mark, anything above $100,000 is moving. It's absolutely moving. And I'm not talking about these overinflated Dodge Charger, wide body, red eye, Hellcat type cars. Those are sitting on a lot. I'm actually thinking about picking one up because I think that it's going to be, I think that the Hellcats of today, considering that they're not making any more V8s, is going to be the Mercury Marauders of 2004, 1996 Chevy Impala SS, 1986 Buick Grand Nationals. I think that those cars are going to be those cars of today. The 2024, 2025 Hellcats is, if you just sit on it, is going to be the cars of yesteryear. So I'm thinking about picking one up, but I'm going to wait for a little bit because I was talking to a guy that I met on a plane when I was flying back from Biloxi, and he's actually the sales manager at a dealership, one of the biggest dealerships in Michigan. So I'm still sitting on that. I'm still thinking about it. I want to get my Porsche first, and I want to see what the next Huracan replacement is going to be. But I'm definitely considering getting one, just because I think it would be nice as a part of the collection, and I need to build a garage first, so I don't really even have no place to store it. But she's absolutely right. The only place where it's not soft at, Rolls-Royce Cullinans, Porsches, Lamborghinis, anything above $100,000 is not soft at all. People are still spending money.
Use this car as an example. My 2022 Tesla Model 3, at the time they were going for $60,000 to $70,000, not even brand new, used. You can buy a brand new Tesla right now for less than half of that. Less than half of that, okay? I really say that to say just hold off. You know, I think that things are gonna work out, hopefully. If you're not really pressed for a car, just wait. Every time I look around, I get an email, come trade in your car, we're giving an extra $15,000 off MSRP. I say hold off. Topic number 3, let's talk about food prices.
There's never going to be a shortage of opportunities when it comes to the car market. So y'all don't ever have to feel pressed or feel like, oh man, I got to hurry up and go and get a new car. Nope, it's never going to be a shortage. Bob Sherry says, Tom, what do you think about the Taycan? I see the prices is crashing. I don't know. Mine is a lease and it's in my business name. So I don't care. Actually, my Taycan, it was a one payment lease. Y'all know what that means if y'all are part of the Bag Chasers and the Patreon. And I actually turned it in August or September of this year. So yeah, I turned my Taycan this year. I don't really care about whether the prices is crashing. I love that car. I drive that car every day. I drove the car today. So it's one of my favorite cars to drive. And I think partially also because they just released the new Taycan. So they just released a new design of the new Taycan, but I got a new 911 that's coming. It's going to be here at the end of the month anyway.
It used to be eat at home, but now eating at home and eating out feels about the same. It's about equal. I know it's not, but it feels that way. It's close. I did a video recently of me and my mom going out to breakfast, and the
problem is tipflation. It ain't even a cost of food, it's tipping.
Someone commented and said, that is so irresponsible. You could have used that money and invested it. In what? Where you want me to put that $15? I know a lot of us have this mindset that deprivation is just going to take you places, but I could guarantee or your money back is not. As someone who became 100% debt free at the age of 25, I was on a rice and beans diet.
So she been listening to Dave Ramsey. Shout out to her.
A budget of $20 a week. That was my fun money. I couldn't spend any more than that, and I stuck to that budget with my life. Right? I don't care whose birthday it was. If I spent my 20, I can't go nowhere. Now I look back, I regret missing so much. just trying to save so much money. I'm not trying to persuade you to go.
Somebody said, are you going to show us the new Porsche, big dog? Maybe I'll show it to the bag chasers. I'm not sure if I want to show it to the general public. I don't know. We'll see.
And spend all of your money. Of course, be responsible. Please enjoy the little things. I promise you, it won't make such a big difference. I had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee for the first time when I turned 27. I was that strict on not buying coffee because I just knew if I did, I would rupture my finances.
Shout out
Sweetie,
to her. That's
do
dope.
the little things. Of course, have discipline, but buy the coffee. You can go to the movies every now and then. You can go to Applebee's every now and then. Enjoy life. What are you really working for? Just to work and pay bills and then die? People act like, oh, you went and bought breakfast. You could have invested that in the stock market. I need y'all to go take a nap. Don't let these bills and this economy.
Dollar cost average. Make sure that you align your budget accordingly and you will be just fine. It's not about whether or not you can afford it or not. It's about whether or not it's actually going to be beneficial to your budget or not. So don't worry as much about it as it is about whether or not you because I mean, listen, if you want to go and get some Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, but you just got to make sure that you budget that into your monthly budget and don't go outside of it. Budget it into your monthly budget. Don't go outside of it and you'll be fine. But all of that extra stuff, you'll be fine, man. I wouldn't even trip about it. I need to see where my car is at anyway. Ooh, I'm 16 days out. I'm 16 days out. Yeah, 16 days out. It will be here in 16 days, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is. Successfully produced 428, 16 days out. That is where it is on the map as far as it being produced. And it will be over in Michigan. Over in Detroit, 16 days out to the arrival center. German port, 429. Left the port on 5-6. And that is my baby. That is my baby. Yes. I can't wait. I don't know. I haven't been this excited in a while for anything. So should be fun. Should be absolutely a hoot. Anyways, let's continue on with the show.
Take the life out of you, right? You still gotta live. Fourth to last thing on my list is the job market. Let's talk about that really quick. It sucks that jobs are just acting like they don't see that eggs are $15. Salaries have not increased, but everything else has. And the salaries that have increased have been pennies on the dollar. On top of that, a lot of people cannot find jobs, myself included. I've been job hunting. I have had no luck, and my resume looks good. It is very hard out here to find a job right now. I have friends that are degree certified and all of that are having a really hard time getting a job. I don't know what we're expected to do as a whole. I know for me right now, I am gonna get a bridge job. So let me know if you all would like to see that. I'm thinking about doing a segment of me doing DoorDash, Instacart, and those kind of things. So let me know if that's something y'all
see. But this kind of contradicts what she was saying in the beginning, right? Well, I don't know, maybe she's just doing it for content, but she was saying that people shouldn't have to work multiple different jobs, but then she wants to be a part of the gig economy. And I'm assuming that's on top of whatever it is that she does for a living. But shout out to her for the hustle and shout out to her for continuing to get the bag. I just did a segment before this, where I was basically breaking down that you don't necessarily deserve anything, but then there's jobs that's available that make a whole lot of money. It's just that those are not the jobs that people want to do. People don't want to get into skilled trades. People don't want to get into, all of the jobs, the electricians, the millwrights, the carpenters. They don't want to work for the post office. They don't want to do those type of jobs. They only want to do the jobs that they want to do. So I don't think that the job market is as bad as people making it out to be. I think that the job market is bad for people that actually don't want to do the work. So it depends on what you want to do. I don't care about what the job is. I do what I have to do until I can do what I want to do. You do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
would be interested in. The jobs that I've been looking at on Indeed and other websites, they're starting at $15 an hour. That's how much they were paying back in 2020. Things have changed, but companies are acting like, oh, we don't see that. I know y'all see it. And this is causing a lot of people to have to get 2 jobs. We could go ahead and move on to the solutions that I have. Now, please take it with a grain of salt. We just talking, right? It's not financial advice. We're just having a conversation. So number 1, for those who live in the city, we might have to move out the city. I know that a lot of us don't want to live on the outskirts. And I know that the outskirts are also getting expensive. They're not.
Well, it depends on what your lifestyle is. If you want to get rid of your car, you know, and you want to catch the bus, a lot of people don't like catching. You got to lower your lifestyle, bro. You got to look at the stuff that you need and the stuff that you want. Most of the time, you don't need a car. One of your biggest expenses is your car. A lot of people's biggest expenses is their car, and they don't want to not have a car note, and so they get the car note, they get the insurance, they get the maintenance, they get the gas, they get all of this stuff, and that car will drain you to death. Debt, credit cards, and cars that you are making a car payment for and you cannot afford it will drain your pockets dry. Get rid of the car, live closer to where you work, and you'll be fine.
Not as expensive as living in the city. I say that for 2 reasons. Number 1, there are still cheap rents. I live in Atlanta. You might have to live in Augusta. There's some places in the Carolinas that are still cheap. Someone told me
people live in Atlanta?
Not to sell my home because I'll never be able to buy a property again. I can if I get one in Gary, Indiana. You don't have to invest in your backyard, right? You can still own property and land. You might not be able to do it in Atlanta or Miami, but you can.
Never buy property where you don't live, especially for earlier and first-time investors. Now, if you're a long-term seasoned investor, then that's one thing. But for people that are 1 property, 2 property, getting started or whatever, never buy property outside of where you actually can go and see the property. It is a disaster waiting to happen. You do not know the market. You are speculating. You can't go see the property. You don't know what's going on. You got to hire a property manager. It's bad. Unless you understand the area intimately. It's one of the reasons why I just stay right here in Metro Detroit, staying right in Michigan, and that's where every single last one of my investments are as far as real estate is concerned, because I understand the market. I know what counties is great. I know where counties is not so great. I know what's really popping. I know where the properties is going to continue to, I know every single thing about it because I've lived here my entire life. Do not go and invest your money in places speculatively that you do not know, that you do not understand, that you are not living in, that you can't go and easily tap into. It is going to be very, very, very bad for you. I'm telling you.
Still do it. It just won't be where you want it to be. I've been seeing a lot of expats moving out of the country for years now. I've been following that. The American dollar is causing a lot of things to be more expensive. When I went to Costa Rica, I got to talk to this guy that owned real estate there. So we're having a conversation and I'm telling him, you know what? I might move to Costa Rica. It's so expensive in the States. And he said it's getting expensive everywhere. Since a lot of people in the US are migrating to these places, is causing them to raise the prices drastically on everything as well. Speaking of Costa Rica, I feel like I need to say this because it's just something that I noticed. When I went to Costa Rica, I noticed that the natives didn't live as nice as the Americans who were buying up a lot of the properties. And most of the properties were used for Airbnb.
A lot of people are going out of the country, and I'm going to just lead us here. Shout out to her. Again, her name is The Upgrade. Make sure y'all go and check out her video. Go and subscribe to her channel. Let her know that Anton from AntonDaniels.com sent you, and then I'm going to put a link in the description of the reaction video if I decide to chop this up back to her platform. But a lot of times, and that's not the conversation that we have also, people are basically gentrifying and displacing people in other countries when they go over there and they say, oh man, it's cheaper to live and we can go and get some box here, whatever. They not really taking into consideration how they affect the economy and the culture over there either. So we still opportunistic. We still take advantage of. We'll complain about what's happening here and then just go and displace somebody else somewhere else. We do it all the time. Anyway, shout out to her. Shout out to everybody that continues to support the platform. Let me read a couple of the super chats and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here for the day. Let's see. Wealth Building Journey says, we're seeing a massive reversion to the mean, which is mass poverty, and a small group of people being inordinately rich. Inordinately rich. Look at me. Okay, let me start this over. We're seeing a mass reversion to the mean, which is mass poverty and a small group of people being inordinately rich. Let's do that again. Like I'm standing up in front of the class with the teachers. We're seeing a mass reversion to the mean, which is mass poverty and a small group of people being inordinately rich. Look at medieval times, a king, a few lords and vassals, and tons of peasants. Shout out to you for throwing me that curveball. Got me reading in front of the class looking stupid. We're not going to skip over words on the Millionaire Morning Show like the other newscasters do. We just go ahead and going to suffer it out. Just like the teachers used to say, sound it out. Inordinately. Is that even a real word? Hold on. Before y'all out here making me look stupid, let me look at it. You ain't about to have me out here looking dumb. Inordinately. Yeah, that's a word. That is a word. All right. You got me today, big dog. But we not going to keep on trying to get me every single day. Sound it out. And then the kids around you. And then the kids around you got you looking stupid. And they already know the words. So they be like, in order. And you look at them. I didn't ask you. It's my turn to sound it out. Inordinately rich. Okay, now repeat the sentence. People in the community are getting inordinately. Teachers start getting frustrated, getting behind on the lesson plans. I can't wait to watch Norbit tonight. I'm going to watch Norbit tonight. Inordinately rich. I told y'all about sending me these words that's 3 and 4 syllables long, 3, 4, 5 syllables. We're not going to be doing that. Nor inordinately rich. Spaces is in the building, says, finally cut up after you made me an hour late. See that? He must be talking to y'all ladies in here. Yeah. E-Raw25 says, Anton, I bought a primary residence close to my work and ride a bicycle there every day. That's what's up. I'm about to go jump on my bike right now. Jamal Park says, can we have a word of the day segment now? No. I told y'all about sending me these large words. I'm a C student. D-Trick619 says, definitely tapping into that Instagram Live. When is the next mastermind? I don't know. Y'all want another mastermind? Y'all want another mastermind inside of the Patreon? We can do a mastermind. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. See, look at K. Cooper. It's an easy word though. See, you was the one that was sitting next to me in the classroom talking about sound it out. Inordinately. I see you on the playground then. It's an easy word though. You just slow. Oh man, I love this show. Chat Lives Matters, the people matter. It's a really, really great place to be. It's a great place to be. Y'all see my plaques up there? I'm proud of those. It's the Anton Daniels plaque and then the Millionaire Morning Show plaque. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, man, life is good. I should be on Instagram Live at sometime around the 3 p.m. hour. And we're going to absolutely continue to run it up, K. Cooper. I love y'all. He retarded. DJ A say he retarded. Oh man, this life is so insane. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, thank y'all for continuing to rock out with me. You guys are the greatest ever. Hopefully you guys continue to be entertained. You see value in what we're doing. I would encourage you guys, if you are looking to go in a direction with a group of people that's really, really leveling it up, make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Dog, she cannot control her dog. Dog, that dog is dragging her. I hate when people can't control their animals. I hate when people can't control their animals. If you are not a responsible pet owner, if you cannot control your dog, you do not need one. Stop telling everybody that it don't bite. I'm looking at this chick out the window. Wish I could show her to y'all. Chick cannot control her dog, bro. I don't know if y'all can see her out there. Oh well. I can't see her. It's too bright outside. The light will not allow for me to show it to y'all. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Peace.